of politics in the European Union. So he's warmly welcome and he has the floor.
Mélyen tisztelt
Honourable President, first of all, I wish to thank you. After the Hungarian Presidency, 6 months since my last visit, I find myself before you once again. It's always a pleasure to speak to a parliament. Regardless of the system of institutions, after all, democracy is something that operates within a parliament. Parliament is the home and the heart of democracy, and indeed I myself have been a member of Parliament since 1990. I would like to thank President Schulz for allowing me to speak to the House today, and I'm very grateful also to the Presidency because you did not object to this, you in fact supported my contribution, and I would like to thank you also for your encouraging words, Mr. Barroso. I have come before you because I've been told that you want to have more information about Hungary, a debate on Hungary, and I think it would be appropriate for me to stand here before you and for you to have first-hand information about the intentions of the Hungarian government. I think it is appropriate for me to be here, bearing in mind that there's a lot of interest in Hungary at the moment, bearing in mind that we've also got an economic crisis here in Europe. At this time, I think it is apposite for me to be here. Allow me to say, first of all, that in terms of the interest that you've demonstrated towards Hungary, I think it's important to respond to that. What's happening in our country is a very exciting process of renewal over the course of the last 6 months or so. Renewal which was necessary and indeed a matter of urgency. In 2010, our country was threatened by economic collapse. We have a population of 10 million. We have fewer than 3 million taxpayers who had problems in the country. A lot of people were living off state funds rather than from the economy. We also had paramilitary organisations in the country, and really our country was on the brink of collapse. It was a terrible situation, and over the course of the last 18 months we've done an incredible job, and we're very proud of the job that we have done. Of course, I acknowledge that we still have serious economic problems ahead of us, but for the very first time in Hungary now, we've got a budget in Hungary which is in line with European principles in terms of stability. We're bringing down public debt, we're trying to obtain a positive balance, and also we have actually banned paramilitary organisations, which was not the case hitherto, and so today we have protection for all minorities in Hungary. National minorities, the Roma population, the Jewish minority, all are protected. The Hungarian government will continue to defend these minorities always in the future. Over the course of the last 18 months, we've also enacted a new constitution, 25 cardinal laws and 339 other pieces of legislation. Over the course of 18 months, 365 laws altogether have been enacted. We've also carried out structural reforms. We have reorganized the system of governance, the system of local government, the public administration, the judiciary system, the education system, the health system, our taxation system, our pension system, as well as our social care system. All of this has been reviewed and reorganised. Anything that had to do with public indebtedness. And obviously, this has taken place in a situation where you've had, lobbying, we've had certain commercial interests, and of course they have not always been very happy with the situation. Think about bank taxation, for instance, and the current situation with regard to debt. In 1949, a communist constitution was enacted. And we were in fact the last amongst the occupied countries to actually enact a new constitution from that date. And I wanted to make this clear to all of the members of this Parliament. We're talking about the renewal of Hungary. We're talking about European principles and European values. And we've done all this work on the basis of those principles and values. We have premised ourselves upon the practices of other members of the European Union. And we have based ourselves also on the fundamental basic documents of the European Union. We're talking about a restructuring of enormous scope, enormous importance. And I suppose it is absolutely understandable, we all understand this, and Hungary also understands this, that there are of course debates in connection with that. Today I did indeed address a letter to President of the Commission, Mr. Barroso. I expressed my opinion in this letter. I said that the problems that had been raised by the Commission could easily be resolved. They could swiftly be resolved and remedied. And in fact, next week we shall be meeting again, and I very much hope that we will achieve swift results on that occasion. I would also like to take this opportunity to inform members of this honourable House that what the Commission has sent us, talking about certain legal provisions, so far none of them have to do with the constitution of Hungary. Journalists may tell you differently, the papers may tell you differently, but there's not a single objection that actually concerns the Hungarian constitution adopted on the 25th of April last year. The constitution, the preamble of that again, which was adopted on the 25th of April last year. We have transitional provisions which pertain to the Constitution, and there are two objections from the Commission relating to those transitional provisions. And as I see it, remedying those two provisions will not pose a problem. We are at your disposal to try and help you with that. But again, let me make it quite clear that not a single article, not a single provision in the Hungarian Constitution has been challenged legally. And I think that's a very good thing indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very grateful to you. I'm grateful that I've had the opportunity to say all this to you, and I would like to ask you, please, we're undergoing serious transformation in Hungary, and I would ask you, please, to support this transition, to support this transformation. I think it's important for the future, and Hungary, counts on the support of the European Parliament. It is important to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister Orban. The debate is now open. On behalf of the European People's Party, Josef Daul for 3 minutes.
Herr Daul, bitte.